We just drove about 6 or 7 miles down a dirt road to get to our boondocking spot here in Moab. And I'm gonna open up the curtains and check how the back of the bus fared on that drive. There was cabinets opening in the middle of the drive and I came back and closed them, but it looks like we made the second half with just the closet opening. And we had a little bit of a oatmeal explosion. But other than that, she made it. Our plan in Moab is to explore Arches National Park and Canyonlands National Park, and we found this incredible BLM spot just north of Arches. It is about 10 miles, 15 miles down a dirt, completely unpaved road to just public land, and there are a couple other campers dispersed around, but we're basically all alone with the cows. Normally, Arches National Park has a timed entry reservation system from April to October, but since we're staying on BLM land north of the park, the road we're on actually goes in through the north entrance, which there isn't a gate at. So we can go in at any time without an entry, which is a little bit of a life hack if you're doing bus life and you want to stay on some BLM land. But be warned, it is, 30 miles of unpaved dirt road, so it's definitely not for everyone. And we don't feel bad about not going through the main gate because we do have a national parks pass, so we're not skipping out on paying the entry fee. We've just already paid it in advance. So yeah, a little bit of a hack, and we're excited to see the park tomorrow. We're gonna get settled in and I'll pick you up then. Welcome to Arches National Park.
Today we're hiking the Devil's Garden Trail here in Arches National Park. It's about an 8-mile loop, I think, and we're gonna see a bunch of different arches. So we're gonna do the lame part and walk through the deep sand with no arches first and kind of do the loop counterclockwise. We are maybe a quarter mile in and we're already reaching our first arch, Tunnel Arch.
We are on the back half of the loop, which is called the Primitive Trail, and it's a lot more private. It's basically just like a walk through the sand, but there are a lot less people, which means we get these views all to ourselves. I wasn't able to catch the drama of Gavin climbing into the canyon, but we just dropped the lens cap for the camera. It rolled down the rock into a big canyon. Gavin climbed down in. So now I'm taking the long way around and hopefully I'll find him at the bottom with the lens cap. He shouted up from the bottom that he wasn't the first person to lose something, so who knows what else he found down there. But now I've got the camera, the backpack, I've got it all. And he's just spelunking. There he is! Did you find it? Wow!
I got it.
Good job. Did you find anything else?
No.
The motto for this hike so far has been, is that the trail? Because most of the time you really can't tell. There's the trail, and then there's also everything that isn't the trail.
Every path where someone went a different way and was like, oh, I need to get back to the trail. We aren't really sure where it is. The sign at the beginning did say that it is a little bit of find your own way, but It's not super well marked, but in general, it's clear to see where you're supposed to be going. And if there's people around, which there will be most of the time you do this, then it's not too bad.
Yeah, not bad. And there's been lots of groups and families and everyone's finding their way, so it works. But you do go off trail. The arches are obviously the main draw to this hike, but one of my favorite rock features are these little holes in the wall. They look like little mini cities. Can you hang?
Someone touched me.
Ooh.
I think there's a rock in there. Wow. Color me impressed.
This is the longest arch in the park.
It's the biggest arch in the world ever.
It's the longest arch in the park for sure. I don't know about the rest.
Biggest arch in this universe.
Home sweet home. It's time to relax in the shade for a little while. We're gonna eat a quick lunch and then we'll probably drive through the rest of the park and do the overlooks and other little arches. I don't think there are any hikes as big as this one. Maybe there are, but I know there are a lot of overlooks with arches. And then we're gonna head to Delicate Arch, which is the showstopper piece of the whole park. We're on the Delicate Heart. We're on the Delicate, oh my goodness, Delicate Arch. We're on the Delicate Arch hike. It's about 3 miles, a little over 3 miles round trip. And it's kind of just open desert, no shade, bring water. And it's pretty crowded. The parking lot was full, but there's a special parking lot for RVs and buses and it wasn't full. So we got a spot, no problem. And now we're in a little bit of a rush because we want to go eat dinner. So we're gonna run up, see the arch, and run back. Well, that was fairly organized-ish, as much as you can expect. We got our picture taken and people just kind of stood in a messy line and waited their turn, and it works. So hopefully we got a good one. I think we did. And now we're on our way back down.
We're at the bottom of the arches hike, and as a little bonus, there's some petroglyphs. Look at this. Ute rock art.
The stylized horse and rider, surrounded by bighorn, sheep, and dog-like animals, is typical of Ute rock art. Carved sometime between AD 1650 and 1850, these petroglyphs are visible along the vertical wall ahead. We left Arches through the main entrance, which is pretty close to the town of Moab, and so we're popping into town for dinner and to fill up our water tank while we're here and grab some groceries. And top tip, you should always fill up as many water bottles as you can while you're filling your water, so you get as much water as possible.
Emily, are you a pet or a bicycle?
I don't think so.
Then you're good.
Let's go. Welcome to Canyonlands National Park. Canyonlands is basically on the other side of Moab, so Moab gets two really cool national parks to its name. And honestly, I'm a little bit less impressed with Canyonlands than I was with Arches. It's not as exciting to look at.
We're doing a hike that's right past the visitor center basically, so we haven't really gotten into the meat of the park. So we'll get some of those better views after this hike, but we wanted to get our steps in this morning, get our blood pumping, and get ready for some cool views.
But I do think Arches is cooler no matter what. I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded. Also, Canyonlands has bad parking for RVs. Which makes it worse.
Canyonlands. Haters welcome.
Also, I'm just really tired because we just hiked up a hill, so maybe that's why I'm feeling this way.
Judging the book off of the prologue.
So Canyonlands has two entrances. We came in through the north entrance, and it's basically just a road from the top of the park, and then there are a bunch of overlooks, and we made it to the end of the road, the final overlook, and this is grand view. It's a little bit more impressive than the hike, but Arches is still better.
I like all the parks.
And it does seem like a lot of the park is dirt road, unpaved roads for like 4x4 off-roading, so there's a lot of Jeeps and stuff going off of the main road to explore more. We don't think the bus could handle it, but if that's what you're into, I think this park would be really great for that. We're at our final stop in Canyonlands for the day. This is the Mesa Arch Trail. The Mesa Arch is a lot of times mistaken for being in Arches National Park because it's a beautiful arch, but it's in Canyonlands. So excited to check this out. And it's just like a half-mile loop, so it's super easy and short to get to. But it's uphill, and I'm already out of breath. We're at one final stop before leaving this area. So right after you exit Canyonlands National Park, there is a state park called Dead Horse State Park, and it has an incredible view of the canyon overlook as well. So we just pulled in and we're gonna go see that. It's the same canyon, just from a different angle, but it looks like it's a pretty good view.
The national parks passes do not apply here, so we did pay an entry fee, but it's gonna be worth it. It's the only entry fee we've paid in this whole area, so we don't really feel too bad about it.
So this park got its name, Dead Horse State Park, because back in the time of cowboys, the cowboys would herd wild horses onto this point, and there's a neck where the top of the canyon like thins out, so they would herd them onto the point and then block it off on the neck.
Which is only 30 feet wide.
And so the wild horses would be trapped here, and then the cowboys would pick which ones they wanted and just leave the rest here trapped to die with no water or anything.
Yeah, so they would die of dehydration with a view of the Colorado River 2,000 feet below.
It's like pretty tragic and sad.